anything that makes noise if you have it. That can be the person you came with. And will you rise in body or in spirit, turning to number 361 as we sing together, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In, hymn number 361.
Mishra-Marzetti, serving our congregation as senior minister. It's my privilege to welcome you on behalf of myself and our chancel team today. Whether you're joining us here in person, live streaming from home, or watching on demand at a later time, it's good that we have chosen to be together in community this Sunday. As many of us know, our congregation has been meeting continuously here in Ann Arbor since 1865, helping bring alive a vision of a free and liberal faith, one in which each of us can explore and discover what it means to be human as we support one another on that very human journey with our collective love and care. If you're a newcomer to our congregation, and by the way, for those of us that are longer timers here, this is one of the seasons of the year when we get a lot of visitors, so be sure to keep an eye and ear open for those who are newer to us and extend a warm welcome to them. If you're newer to us, we're glad that you've chosen to be here. It takes a lot of courage to visit a community for the first time. We hope you'll find here a like-minded people, one who share your values and your commitment to bringing those values alive in the world. If you're a visitor or a newcomer and you're here with us in person, we invite you to join us in the Redmond room following our service this morning. That is the first room to the left as you exit those double doors. If you're newer to us and are live streaming, please take a moment to introduce yourself in the chat. You can perhaps say where you are joining us from. I know there will be longer-term members of our community there who will be delighted to greet you and welcome you into that space. If you're watching on demand at a later time, please know that you can contact any of us on staff up to and including myself, and we'd be delighted to help orient you to our community and help you learn more. If you are newer, we invite you to also take a moment to go online and fill out our newcomer survey at uuaa.org/newcomer survey. This will help us stay in touch with you and let you know about upcoming important events in our community. A couple of reminders this Sunday, the first of which is a logistical note that would be especially good for those who are newer to us. Our community will meet next Sunday, Labor Day weekend, on August 31st at our usual summer service timing of 10:30 a.m., both in person and streaming online. 2 Sundays from now, we will have our annual in-gathering service, our water communion service on Sunday, September 7th, We'll also on that day return to having 2 Sunday services at 9:30 a.m. and 11:30 a.m., both in person and online. So know that there's some changes in our weekly pattern that are on the horizon, not immediately, but 2 Sundays hence. A programming note for adults of all ages who may be interested in doing some deeper soul work, some deeper spiritual exploration work with me personally in the year ahead. I'll be offering 2 adult-focused learning opportunities in the starting congregational year. One called Unitarian Universalist Spiritual Warriors, and the second is called the Imaginarium. The Warriors group will have a moral, ethical, spiritual focus, while the Imaginarium will involve creative expression and exploring creative expression of our spirituality. If you'd like to learn more about either of these adult offerings, you can go to UUAA.org and put into the search engine, the search tool, adult classes, and the classes are the first link that will pop up. We encourage you to register now, and you can reach out to me personally if you'd like to learn more. As we begin to transition into our time together this morning, I was doing just a little bit of math this morning, not that I'm counting or anything, but for those who are actively parenting in our community, did you know that the Ann Arbor Public School summer break ends in about 20 hours? Who's excited about that? I know some of us parents might be. How about the kids? How many of you kids are excited about going back to school? Yeah, that's awesome. I know that's a mixed question in my household. I've got some that are, some that aren't. It's a little bit of a mixed vote in my household. But this is the season we're in. It's one of many transitions. We've got college students moving into the area, moving into dorms and local housing, getting to experience our area or returning for additional years of learning and growth. We've got our local kids in the Ann Arbor School District and other school districts that are starting their school years in the days ahead. It's a time of change and transition, and all of that can invite the question of what are we bringing into that time of change and transition? What's in our backpacks? What are we carrying with us as we venture into the world? It might at times be hesitation or worry or anxiety, but we can also carry with us strength, love, the support and care of others. This Sunday, we're going to explore the things that we might be holding or carrying in our personal backpacks as we also collectively honor the annual return of our younger ones to their classrooms and schools. It's in that spirit that we are gathered this morning for worship.
As we were planning this morning's service, I was reminded of some famous and much loved words from a slightly longer text by Reverend Norman V. Naylor. Do not leave your cares at the door. Do not leave there your pain, your sorrows, or your joys. Bring them with you into this place of acceptance and forgiveness. Or to paraphrase, enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears, open your hearts, and don't be afraid of some change. Each of us carries so much with us when we enter this space. It is the individual spark that belongs to each of us that we join together in the ritual lighting of our chalice. Without each and every one of us here in the sanctuary and joining online, the flame of our chalice would burn just a little bit less brightly. Today, I would like to invite Brent Williams to join us on the chancel to light the chalice. As Brent lights our chalice here in the sanctuary, we invite our online community to light a chalice of your own, perhaps sharing in the chat the chalice is lit and from where you're joining us today. Please join me as we speak together our chalice lighting words. We light this chalice for the light of truth. We light this chalice for the warmth of love. We light this chalice for the energy of action. We light this chalice for the harmony of peace. Thank you, Brent. Whether you find yourself leaving this place each Sunday feeling as if your load has been made just a little bit lighter, or that you are carrying new wisdom, new questions, new ways of looking at the world, maybe even new friendships, know that you are always in the company of people committed to sharing the work we do and to helping you carry whatever it is you brought with you today. Let us now renew this commitment by speaking together the words of our covenant. The spirit of this church is love, and service is its law. This is our covenant with each other, to dwell together in peace, to search for truth in love, and to help one another.
So often, as we journey through life, we encounter times of great challenge. When the burdens of the world and of the heart feel so heavy, do we continue on the same path, or do we change direction altogether? Our first story this morning encourages us to consider one possibility. When things aren't going right, go left. Go left. One day, for no particular reason, nothing was going right. Absolutely, positively, nothing was going right. So, I decided to go left. The first thing I did, I left behind my worries. Yep, I left them right there on the ground. They looked up at me and wondered, "Where are you going?" But I just smiled and waved goodbye. "Wait," they hollered, "come back, what will happen to us?" I simply shrugged my shoulders. "You'll be fine." As I walked away, I thought, did I make the right choice? Should I go back and get them? Doubts crept in. So you know what I did? I left behind my doubts. Yep, I left them right there on the ground. They bellowed, "You're making a mistake!" But I just gazed at the sky. They questioned, "Are you sure you're making the right decision?" "Absolutely," I declared. With my worries and doubts left behind, I could finally think clearly. I forged on until I came to a pool and a diving board I remembered all too well. The last time I tried to dive off that diving board, I splatted on my back. Ouch. I remembered the pain and how scared I was. I started thinking, maybe I shouldn't try this again? So you know what I did? I left behind my fears. Yep, I left them right there on the ground. They screamed, "Don't do it!" I stood up straight, shoulders back, hands pressed above my head. "Stop!" they cried. But I simply turned and gave them a wink. I leaped. Splat. On my back once again. Oof, that stings. I thought to myself, this is impossible. It can't be done. So you know what I did? I left behind my frustrations. Yep, I left them right there on the ground. They yelled, "You can't do it!" Again, I stood up straight, shoulders back, hands pressed above my head. They laughed. "Give up already!" I whispered to myself, "No way, never." I leaped. Feet together, toes pointed, legs straight. Perfect, I did it. I started to realize the more left I went, the more right I felt. So you know what I did? Yep, I kept going left. And before I knew it, everything was going right. As I walked home, I glanced at the ground and I noticed something that I did not expect. My frustrations were a lot smaller. My fears a lot quieter. My doubts a lot calmer. My worries practically gone. So I decided to pick them back up. And you know what? They felt lighter now, and they weren't so hard to handle anymore. And I realized it was okay to have them with me, so long as I kept an eye on them and made sure they didn't get too big or too loud or too overwhelming. But if they did, and I felt like nothing was going right again, then I'd simply go left. The end. A couple of weeks ago, I took my kids to Kalahari Water Park in Sandusky, Ohio. Yeah. Now, none of them had ever been on a roller coaster or like a serious water slide, so this was somewhat of an experiment. When we first entered the park, there was a fair bit of clinging to Mom, and I briefly thought to myself that we'd made a big mistake. But once they finally overcame their fears and tried out the Cheetah Racer ride, which was the first one we all did, it was on. The three of them went on almost every slide there, including a trapdoor drop called Extreme Rush, a huge funnel ride called Tanzanian Twister, and the Dawn Breaker, their newest attraction. I was so proud to see them pushing their limits and embracing the adrenaline rush that results from taking risks, safe risks, of course. Okay. Now is a time when I confess that I am a big scaredy cat. I've had a fear of falling my whole life, and that fear has now transformed into fears about my children falling, which is so much more fun. Kalahari was basically exposure therapy. And honestly, the worst part wasn't even the slides, it was the walk up the steps to that tall platform. I probably bruised my kids' arms. I was clutching them so hard. Every time they would sort of glance over the edge, I just couldn't breathe. Maybe it was their pleading faces that convinced me to put down my fears, much like the child in our story, and just go for it. And it was fun. Some of the rides that I was reluctant to try ended up being my favorites. My kids made me feel brave, and I'm proud of myself for trying. But I also found the courage to say no. No to the Dawnbreaker, no to Extreme Rush, and a giant no to the Tanzanian Twister. I'm sorry, but that one has a huge drop in the dark, followed by a swirl around a huge drain and ending with another drop into a pool that might be head first. You just don't know until you get to that part of the ride. No, thank you. I'm reminded of a tweet I saw by author and podcaster Glennon Doyle. Quote, "There is a family standing next to me at the store. I just heard the dad say to the kid, 'Well, it's brave to go on a roller coaster. And it's also brave to say you don't want to go on a roller coaster. Wanted to tell you something good. That is good,' end quote. Taking risks is good. So is knowing your limits. Stepping outside of your comfort zone is good. So is trusting yourself enough to say no. Being inspired and encouraged by others to face your fears is good. So is resisting pressure to do something that you don't want to do. Our worries, doubts, fears, and frustrations can hold us back, yes, but they can also serve us in important ways. And as the story says, it's okay to have them with us, as long as they don't get too loud or overwhelming, as long as they don't prevent us from becoming our whole selves, or from meeting our potential. Maybe next summer when we go back, I'll gather the courage to go on the Dawnbreaker. Perhaps not. Perhaps I might keep going right, or perhaps I'll decide to go left. Either way, I know that this community will love and accept me just the same, and that is good. Amen. This time of year is full of transitions, and this is now another transition that I just had to name again. The leaves are just barely starting to turn and fall. I'm pretty sure pumpkin spice lattes are back at Starbucks. The days are getting noticeably shorter. We actually lose close to 70 minutes of daylight just in August here. So it's not just a figment of our imaginations. Michael's, Target, and Costco are fully stocked for Halloween. I mean, at this rate, we may see Easter candy on the shelves in December. But if you ask people what the fall brings, many will name the start of the new school year. In fact, as Manish said earlier, Ann Arbor Public Schools, as well as Saline and Chelsea, and I'm sure many others, are commencing tomorrow. Now, I know that there might be a mixed reaction to this information, especially from some of the kids. I doubt there's much mixed reaction from the adults. But I totally get it. You know, even if you love school, it can be a very anxious transition out of the summer for kids and parents alike. Just like the boy in our story who carries a backpack with him. I'm sure many of you bring a backpack with you to school most days. Perhaps yours is also filled with worries, doubts, fears, and frustrations. Or maybe your backpack is filled with more practical items, although practical is, I guess, a subjective word. My 10-year-old Nate gave me permission to share a photo from when they were in kindergarten. What you're seeing here are the contents of his kindergarten backpack. A Lego magazine, a Captain Underpants book, a wallet, which was really just a pencil case with all of his piggyback money, a bubble fidget, a unicorn ring, a tiny ball maze, a hologram, and a shark head. As a friend wrote when I posted this on Facebook, you never know when you'll need a shark head. That's just common sense right there. Maybe alongside those worries, doubts, fears, and frustrations, you're also carrying excitement, joy, relief, and any number of other feelings. But I think there's still something missing, something that I hope you do take with you during the year ahead. It's us, all of the people in this community. Now, obviously, you can't actually pack all of us in your backpack, but you can take something with you as a reminder that we are here wherever and whenever you need. This keychain, with affirmations that you are loved, awesome, brave, and enough just as you are. Now, I want to invite any children and youth in the sanctuary to line up here on these steps, and we're going to pass these keychains out, and then I'm going to recite a special blessing. Look that way. Look out at all the people you're bringing with you to school. And for those of you that are home, and if you want one of these, we will have extras available on future Sundays. Oh, wow. Fantastic. And if you would prefer we bring a keychain to you, that can also be arranged. So you can, if you're not comfortable coming up on the steps. All right, and here we go.
MJ, you can bring some friends here. There's room.
Yeah, there's room over here.
Yeah, you can go here, anywhere. You good, you good.
I think this is the most kids and youth we've had since I started doing this work. So that's fantastic. Thank you for being your brave, awesome selves and standing here in front of all of these people. And to all of you watching elsewhere, I hope you feel the warmth of love emanating from our community. I invite you to stay here on the chancel steps for the blessing. This is based on our UU values and adapted from religious educator Kathy Smith. Even when you are away from UUAA, you carry the heart of Unitarian Universalism with you wherever you go. Today, we bless our children and youth as they start a new adventure. We bless you in the name of interdependence. May we always feel connected to our church community, our UU faith, and our grand universe. We bless you in the name of pluralism. May we always remember to honor people for who they are, celebrate our diversity, and keep our hearts and minds open. We bless you in the name of justice. May we always remember to act based on our values and to look out for others, especially those on the margins, so that we may all thrive. We bless you in the name of transformation. May we grow and transform throughout the year, becoming more ourselves every day, and may we embrace new ideas and learning. We bless you in the name of generosity. May we experience gratitude and hope through the generosity of our community, and remember to be generous with others. We bless you in the name of equity. May we remember that we are all inherently worthy, and each of us has the right to flourish with dignity, love, and compassion. And we bless you in the name of love. May you always remember that you are loved here at UUAA. May you remember to love yourself and to love each other. May you keep love at the center of all you do. Amen and blessed be. Thank you. You may all return to your seats.
I love that book, Going Left, in order to actually wind up going in the right direction. By the way, for those who don't know, adults or kids, but maybe especially our younger ones, that can be a helpful rule in general, especially if you're ever trying to figure out a maze. Did you know that? Whether you had a maze on a piece of paper, a little puzzle to figure out that's a maze, or you're physically inside of a maze, if you keep choosing the same direction, left, 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 every time there's a choice, you are guaranteed to get out of the maze. I learned this painfully because my first husband, former husband, maybe former for a reason, and I were in Italy, and we went to one of the Italians love actual live mazes, and we were in it. And the scientist got out in 10 minutes flat. After 40 minutes of me ambling around, running around this maze, completely lost, I can't figure out what to do. They had to send in the Italian guard to rescue me from the maze. Only then did he bother to mention that if you keep going consistently the same direction, you will eventually get out. Guaranteed, guaranteed. I've subsequently tried it, and the rule works. But there's something there about steadfastly pursuing a direction when you're clear that the direction is good, that it's right for you. And here in community, we do a bit of the same. We work together in pursuing that which is good, that which is right. And it's through our collective sharing of resources and time and energy that all of that becomes possible, all that becomes realizable. This morning, we collect our offerings, our generous donation of financial gifts to our community. Here in the sanctuary, in person, the ushers will come down the aisles in just a moment with our baskets and collect the offering. If you are a guest with us here in person today, you are more than welcome to let the baskets pass you by. We're just delighted to have you here as our guest, and that is enough. If you'd like to give electronically, you may do so either online, if you're joining us online, or here in the sanctuary in person. by going to uuaa.org/giving and choosing weekly offering. Or if you'd like to give via your phones, you can text UUAA to 73256. This morning's offering will now be gratefully received. Thank you, Y'all Come Singers. By the way, for those who don't know or are newer to our community, this is the Y'all Come Singers. It is a pop-up group of singers, a pop-up choir, no advanced preparation needed. You simply show up a little bit early on Sunday morning and you get to be the choir for that morning. So thank you for being our choir for this morning. We are delighted. If you would please rise and body your spirit as you're comfortably able. Let's join our hearts as well as our voices as we offer our words of dedication for this morning's offering, which the ushers are bringing forth. To the work of this congregation, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action, we dedicate our lives, and these are offerings. Please be seated.
Our second story this morning is Little Tree by Lauren Long. Once there was a little tree filled with little leaves, who was surrounded by other little trees who had little leaves of their own. In the heat of long summer days, Little Tree's leaves kept him cool. The squirrels would climb up on his branches to play. The mourning dove landed in him and sang her fluty song. The little tree was sure to grow up big and strong. Autumn arrived, and cool winds filled the air. The wind tickled the little tree as it passed through his branches and ruffled his leaves. The air grew cold, and the leaves on all the trees changed color, becoming yellow, red, and orange. Then, one by one, the trees began to drop their leaves. But not Little Tree. He just hugged his leaves tight. "Hello, Little Tree," said a squirrel. "You're supposed to drop your leaves now." But Little Tree was unsure. What would he do without his leaves? Winter came. "What are you doing with leaves still on you?" asked the doe. Little Tree just hugged his leaves tight. Springtime arrived, and the little forest burst into life again. The other trees grew bright new leaves. The squirrels played in their branches. Little Tree could hear the mourning dove singing her fluty song. The seasons continued to come and go. "Little Tree," quacked a duckling, "your leaves are brown. Are you feeling sick?" A fox said, "Little Tree, it's autumn. It's time for you to drop your leaves. You can do it. Ready? 1, 2. But Little Tree just hugged his leaves tight. All around, the forest grew and grew. One summer, Little Tree could no longer feel the sunlight. The squirrels played high above on the broad, tall trees, and the mourning dove sang so far away that he could hardly hear her fluty song. Autumn came again. Leaves began to blanket the ground. Little Tree looked up at the other trees, at their branches reaching high into the sky. He remembered when the trees had all been his size. And then he let go. As his last leaf floated to the ground, for the first time, Little Tree felt the harsh cold of winter. But in time, something happened. Once there was a little tree. The end. Little Tree was unsure. He hugged his leaves tight, and when he finally let them go, he felt the harshness of winter. And then something happened. He grew. That short phrase, "he felt the harshness of winter," is actually a pretty important phrase in this process of letting go, because it reminds us that this is a process. As we let go of whatever it is we are holding so tightly, there's that moment of feeling at sea, untethered. It may bring about panic or fear. How can I manage without my leaves, or whatever those leaves represent, right? But it also might bring about joy and relief. How come I didn't let go sooner? So we let go. Then we can accept this new reality, and we can see that our lives go on and that there is a lightness, a feeling of freedom, of opportunity for growth, and that this is now a new time, a different time, and we've weathered those changes. As your pastoral care minister, I help people through the process of laying down a burden, especially when someone is in the transitional part of that process, that in the harshness of winter time. Often, this is when someone has died, or in the months leading up to a death, or in the face of a serious illness. And it's important to remember that helping hold the burden, helping someone to let something go, helping them through the process, is very different from trying to fix whatever it is they don't or can't let go of at that moment. The deer, the fox, the dove, the squirrels, none of them tried to remove the leaves from the little tree. They didn't try to fix his problem, but they didn't abandon him either. They kept checking in and encouraged him to let go. And then, when Little Tree most needed support, right after letting go of the leaves, he was surrounded by his friends who gathered round and delighted in his newfound path, his journey leading to new growth. This is what we can do for each other. Each of you can offer a pastoral presence by the simple act of listening, without intent to fix, without intent to change the course of action, without judgment. By truly being present and listening without distraction. Time and time again, I experience the relief someone feels in just having had a chance to lay something down. Just articulating what that heavy thing is often enough in the moment. Given how much stuff we are all carrying around right now, there really is an endless opportunity for us each to be that person who is present for someone who is needing to let something go. Will you join me now for a time of meditation? Breathe gently. Find a position that is comfortable for you. You may sit or stand, close your eyes or not. The only thing you need is whatever that thing is that is holding too much, whatever that container is. Where are you holding all the things right now? Is it a backpack, a purse, a paper bag? Is it your heart? Conjure that container in your mind and hold it there. Can you see it and feel its weight? Try to feel that weight in your hands. Now open the container you are imagining, that one that you are holding, and pull out something causing you stress right now. Perhaps it's a financial challenge looming, or uncertainty about your job. Hold that stress for a moment. Feel it in your hand. Feel the weight of it. Now, set it down. Set it on an empty chair if there is one next to you, or set it on the floor. Lay this burden down. Feel how the weight in your hands has evaporated. Now pull out something that is causing you sadness. Perhaps it is the loss of a family member, a friend, a beloved pet, or a personal relationship that has ended. Hold that sadness for a moment. Feel it in your hand. Feel the weight of it. Now set it down. Set it on an empty chair or on the floor. Lay this burden down. And feel how the weight in your hand has evaporated. Pull out something that is causing you anxiety or fear. Perhaps on the global scale, the news feeds on your phones or other devices, the constant state of turmoil the world is in. Or on a more personal scale, because you are moving to a new school or a new classroom. Hold that fear for a moment. Feel it in your hand. Feel the weight of it. Now set it down on the empty chair or on the floor. Lay this burden down and feel how the weight in your hand has evaporated. Now sit with this increased lightness and spaciousness in your being, even if it lasts only for the duration of this meditation. Just be in this moment of having let go. Resist the urge to let the space within you be filled with more burdens. May this space be filled with kindness and compassion. May this space be filled with peace and contentment. May this space be filled with love and joy. May it be so. Remember, little tree, dear ones, the need to hang on runs deep in us humans too. Letting go can be painful before it is freeing, before it lets us grow. Remember also, little tree was just one tree in a forest, his own community. He learned from the community that letting go of those leaves would lead to growth. He had models of how to be in the world all around him. And that, I think, is what gives us strength to let go and gives us hope and faith in what is to come, in the growth that we will experience. If we can see what a life less burdened can look like in someone else, we may become braver to try to be that way as well. And if we live a less burdened life, may we model what that looks like for others, and by doing so, offer hope. Amen. Will you repeat after me? I'm going to lay down my frustrations. I'm going to lay down my fears. I'm going to lay down my doubts. I'm going to lay down my burdens. I'm going to lay down my sword and shield. Would you please rise in body or in spirit as we sing together hymn 162, I'm going to lay down my sword and shield, number 162.
Dear ones, will you remain standing as you are comfortably able? We close today with a reading from the great hymnal called The Way by Edwin Muir. Friend, I have lost the way.
The way leads on.
Is there another way?
The way is one.
I must retrace the track.
It's lost and gone.
Back, I must travel back.
None goes there, none.
Then I'll make here my place.
The road runs on.
Stand still and set my face.
The road leads on.
Stay here, forever stay.
None stays here, none.
I cannot find the way.
The way leads on.
Oh, places I have passed.
That journey's done.
And what will come at last?
The way leads on. Beloveds, may you be blessed on the journey, what you've been through, what you are experiencing right now, and what will be ahead. Know deep into your bones that you are not alone on this journey. Look around you. Really, look around you. This is your community. Look at those who are online. These are the people who will be there to witness your letting go, to support your times of transitions, and to encourage you along the way as you grow. Until we gather again, go in peace. Amen.